In the grand hall, where crystal chandeliers cast a dazzling glow, a young waiter named Ethan Cole moved through the crowd, balancing a tray of champagne flutes. Ethan's appearance was unassuming, a simple black uniform, a polite smile, and a glint in his eyes that few noticed. His accent, when he spoke to guests, was soft and slightly drawled, the kind some might mistake for rural. But Ethan harbored a secret, one that would unravel before the night was over. Travis, holding a champagne flute, stood among a small circle of friends. His voice boomed as he boasted about his new film, detailing how he'd assembled the finest director and actors for what he deemed a true masterpiece. As Ethan passed by, collecting empty glasses on his tray, Travis's attention snapped to him. "Hey, you!" Travis called out, a mischievous edge to his tone. "What's your name, buddy?" Ethan paused, turned, and offered a courteous smile. "I'm Ethan, sir. Can I get you anything?" Travis glanced at his friends, their faces already creasing with amusement. "Listen to this guy talk," Travis said loudly, mimicking Ethan's drawl. "Sir, huh? Where you from, Ethan? Some backwater town where folks still ride horses?" Laughter erupted from the group. Ethan didn't flinch, maintaining his composed smile. He responded quietly, "I'm from here, sir. Los Angeles." "Los Angeles?" Travis scoffed, his tone dripping with mockery. "You sound like you're from some podunk nowhere. Ever seen the inside of a school, or did you just grow up dreaming of waiting tables?" The crowd laughed again. Travis reveled in the moment, seeing Ethan as an easy target, a black waiter he could humiliate to flex his wealth and power. But Ethan's eyes held a spark, a hint that he was about to join the game, on his own terms. Ethan set his tray aside and stood tall. His smile remained, but now it carried a quiet strength. He cleared his throat and began to speak in a polished, eloquent American English that could rival any Ivy League professor. "Mr. Hartman," Ethan said, his voice clear and confident, "I appreciate your assumption that my accent reflects a rural upbringing. But if you'll indulge me, I'd like to demonstrate how deceptive appearances can be." Travis raised an eyebrow, surprised but intrigued. He gestured for Ethan to continue. The crowd fell silent, all eyes fixed on the young waiter. Ethan took a deep breath and launched into a famous monologue from Shakespeare's Hamlet, his voice resonating through the hall. "To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, nobler eats no more. And by a sleep we say, we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to." His delivery was flawless, each word infused with passion and precision. The room stood frozen, captivated by the performance. As he finished, a stunned silence gripped the hall for a moment before it exploded into applause. Travis's face flushed red. He stood rooted to the spot, his earlier smirk gone. Ethan bowed slightly and said, "My name is Ethan Cole, an actor. I'm currently preparing for a role as a man of humble origins, hence the accent. But as you can see, I'm well-versed in my craft." The crowd swarmed around Ethan. A prominent casting director approached, her eyes wide. "That was extraordinary," she said. "Have you ever auditioned for a major project?" Ethan smiled. "I've done some small theater productions, but I'm always looking for bigger opportunities." Travis, meanwhile, stood clutching his glass, his earlier bravado deflated. He realized he'd not only humiliated himself, but had unwittingly showcased a talent that could elevate his own film. As the night drew to a close, Travis pulled Ethan aside. His tone was softer, almost apologetic. "Ethan," he said, "I misjudged you tonight. You're a talented man. There's a role in my film that might suit you. Would you be interested in auditioning?" Ethan paused, then smiled. "I'd be happy to audition, Mr. Hartman, but if I may, I have one condition. Travis looked surprised. "What's that?" "I want you to treat everyone on your set, actor, waiter, or otherwise, with respect." Tonight showed that everyone has a story to tell. Travis stared at him for a moment, then nodded. "Fair enough, Ethan. That's a deal." Over the next few weeks, Ethan auditioned for Travis's film and landed a significant role. His performance impressed critics and earned him a rising star status in Hollywood. True to his word, Travis fostered a more inclusive and respectful environment on set. Ethan Cole, once a waiter in a humble uniform at a glitzy Hollywood gala, had become a shining star. His story was a lesson for anyone who judged others by their appearance or profession. That night, with Shakespeare's words, he didn't just silence Travis Hartman. He showed the world that true talent can shine through any guise. Nestled in the hills of Hollywood, a lavish mansion glowed with the light of 1,000 stars. It was an exclusive gala, where the city's elite gathered exceeded expectations. Film producers, directors, and billionaire financiers who fueled Hollywood's glitz with their deep pockets. The air was thick with the scent of champagne and the soft hum of a live jazz band. The host of this extravagant affair was Travis Hartman, a man whose wealth was only outshone by his reputation for arrogance. Travis Hartman, a film financier and tech billionaire, was notorious for his sharp tongue and sense of superiority. That night, he was in his element, celebrating the funding of his latest project, a historical drama he called "the greatest endeavor of my lifetime." The crowd around him laughed at his every quip, applauded his every opinion, and treated his every word as gospel.